In this video, we're going to begin a multi-lesson project, and that is a project where you're going to create your own text-based adventure game. So in this video, we're going to try to set the scene and look at how you might make transitions from scene to scene, how you might handle some very simple objects and things like that. And we're going to use a couple of kind of key programming ideas. We'll use everything from the previous lessons. We're going to use some loops and if-else statements and all sorts of things. But we're going to use a couple of new methods that you probably haven't seen before. The first of those methods is a string method, and that is the .includes method. So basically the way that this method works is you take a string, so in this case let's just put the string hello world, and then you are running a function or a method on this string. And you run a function on a string using the dot syntax. So if we wanted to do dot length, right, we would get the length of hello world. But if we want to, the one I want to show you in this video is dot includes. So what dot includes does is it gives us a Boolean value if the string that we're passing into it includes a substring. So I want to see if hello world includes the substring WO. And we're just going to console log that. Okay. And now when I run this, I'm going to bring my console up here so you can see it. It says true, that hello world includes WO. Now if I were to put in a string in here that hello world does not include, like the string in, and run the same thing, I'd get a false. So we're going to use this includes method quite a bit in the choose your own adventure game. The other thing is I want to show you a new way to declare a function. So in the previous lesson, we declared functions using this syntax. We used the syntax function, and then we put in the name of the function. So function say hello, right? And then we put in the parentheses for our parameters, and then the brackets. And we're just going to do this, console log hello world, okay? And then we run the function by calling say hello with the parentheses, and we put our parameters in those parentheses. So you see it logged to the console hello world. Well, there's a different way in JavaScript to declare functions, and it's a way that's going to be really useful for us for creating our text-based adventure game. And that is to set our functions to a variable. So instead of doing it this way where we have function say hello, we're going to say var say hello is equal to this function. Okay? This looks probably very similar to what we had, but it allows us to do some different things. It basically allows us to pass say hello into other functions as a variable and then call it. So if I wanted to, if I had another function, let's say if I say function hi, okay, and we're going to pass in I'm just going to use the letter F for our parameter here, and then run F, okay, and then I'm going to call hi, and I'm going to pass in say hello as the parameter to my function hi. So basically I'm passing a function into a function. Now check this out. If I press run, it says hello world. So what this is actually doing is it's running the function hi, passing the variable say hello into this function, and then taking that variable, and with these two parentheses, it's actually running this function up here, say hello. You'll see why this is useful as we get further into our text-based adventure. But with those two ideas, it's now time to begin. And both of those ideas will be outlined in the text to the right of the code screen. Okay, so we're going to begin by setting the scene, and I wanted to, let's begin our text-based adventure in a clearing. And so I'm going to create the clearing using the var keyword, and we're going to create var clearing is equal to function, okay, and then all of our code for this scene is going to happen within this function. Now, I'm going to start our game by calling this function at the very end of all of the code that I'm writing here. So I'm going to call clearing, okay, and then 2 parentheses for that. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to prompt the user. So I want to prompt, you find yourself in a clearing. There is a house here. There is a path that leads to the east. Okay. So when I prompt, if I press run, it prompts with a prompt box, and it gives me this string. Now, for right now, if I press OK, nothing's going to happen here because I don't have this prompt going anywhere. So what I have to do is I have to set the thing that the user types into the prompt box to a variable. So I'm going to set it to variable u. So var u is equal to prompt, and then my prompt text. And so now what I'm taking in is the response that I'm getting from my user. And I'm going to do a couple of things with this response. The first thing that I want to do is I want to take this response and I want to take it to lowercase. Because what that's going to do, I'm just going to set u is equal to u to lowercase. That's going to take any capital letters, anything like that that's in this response, and it's going to normalize that so that when I'm searching for things in here, I'll be able to find it even if the user is using a capital letter. Okay, so now I've got this u. Now I'm going to use the includes function, okay? And I'm going to say, well, if I find myself in a clearing, right, what would I want to do? I would want to probably have a way to go somewhere. And so I'm going to set up an if statement, if, parentheses, u.includes go. Okay? I'm going to alert going there. All right, now we're going to fill this in with all sorts of stuff, but I want to show you how this works before we do that. So we're going to run, and you find yourself in a clearing. There's a house here. There's a path that leads to the east. I'm going to type in go east, and it'll alert going there. Now, when I run, I can type in go far away, all the way to the east, right? And it'll still recognize that word go, and it'll say going there. If I don't use the word go, if I say look at the house, for example, it'll just exit out because I'm not handling that. So this u.includes will look for this word in the string, and as long as that word appears in the string, it will do something. It'll go into this if statement. Okay, so let's make this even more fun. So if u.includes go, I know that my user is asking to go somewhere. So now I want to say within this if statement, if u.includes house, the user is going to be going to the house. And so what I'll want to do here is I'll want to run a new function. This is how we're going to keep our code organized. We're going to run the function house. So I'm going to create further down var house is equal to function. Okay, and I'll write all of the code for the house in here. So now if I say you find yourself in a clearing, there is a house here, and I say go to the house, it is now actually running what's in this house function. Okay, so if u.includes go, if u includes house, then run house. Let's do another if. Else if u.includes east, I want to go east. And let's imagine that there's a waterfall to the east. And let's add that to our description. There's a path that leads to the east, and you see a waterfall in the distance. And then I'm going to create a waterfall function right here. Okay? And all of my code for the waterfall. So I'll show you this. Actually, let's alert. You're at the waterfall. Okay, and in the house function we'll alert you're at the house. All right, so this is very simple, but let's run it and let's see what happens. If I run and I say go to the house, it says you're at the house. That works the way that I want it to. Now I run and I say go to the waterfall. It says undefined. Because I said if U includes east. So if I say go east, it says I'm at the waterfall. Now, since I told my user that there was a waterfall in the distance, I probably want to also give them the option to go to the waterfall. So I can use my or for that. If U dot includes east or U dot includes waterfall, then we're going to go to the waterfall. And so if I press run, I find myself in a clearing, go to the waterfall. You're at the waterfall. And I can type in almost anything there that has the words go and waterfall. So if I put in go to that big, beautiful waterfall, it'll go to the waterfall. And so this is how you get your text-based adventure to recognize certain keywords. And when you're coding it, you need to figure out what keywords you want to use, what keywords your user is likely to type into the interface. And you want to try to handle as much of that as you can. And you can do that by using the or symbol here. You can also do that by nesting your ifs, so that, like in this case, we know that we're looking for go, and then we're looking for house and waterfall. So we have to have both go and then either house or east or waterfall. Okay, so I've taken care of going places. Now what if I want to look at something? Let's do that. Let's do an else if here. U dot includes look. Okay, and then I'm going to put my brackets, and then we'll drill this down a little bit. So if U includes look, if U dot includes around, okay, I want to say I want to run my clearing function again, so that I am basically showing my user I'm showing my user what's around them. So and then else if maybe the user wants to look at the house. Let's do that. U dot includes house. Okay. And you could also do something where you drill down even further. Like if I said there's a house here and a large tree, right? I could actually make my second layer of if statements basically my prepositions, so around and at, and then I can say within this if statement, if U dot includes house, then we're going to alert the house looks like it hasn't been occupied